Hello and welcome to this latest not from the UK. In fact, that I should have some kind of a logo or emoji saying where in the world is Ian today, but I am currently in the beautiful city of Yerevan in Armenia. Customer experience genuinely has no this webinar for you today on a subject that continues to become increasingly important. It has been part of the rhetoric.
I don't think we hear Ian, right?
No.
Yeah, he's coming back. Just a second.
No problem.
Here he's back. Ian, we lost you. You
Hello,
probably
everyone.
said
You see,
very
you see,
interesting things.
I actually think.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I think he has a problem. Okay. Yes, he's back and
Please,
gone again.
have I gone again? Oh no, this is a
Yes,
disaster.
yes, yes.
This is the wonder of technology, and the wonder of being in a country where I'm not in control of the Wi-Fi. So I'm going to speak less and pass over to the two superstars. The brilliant Marrianne De Korte. As I was saying, if you didn't hear my brilliant explanation of why AI is so important, we all know that AI is becoming so important in the way organizations are thinking.
Yeah. I don't know if Ian can hear us. Maybe you can try to change position.
Maybe.
Okay. Okay. So while Ian is coming back, yeah, maybe it's AI, not Ian.
Like that.
I'm not sure who it is. Yes, okay. So Marianne, while Ian, while we were waiting for Ian, maybe you would like to share with us some of your experience with using AI technology in journey management. Here is Ian back. Ian, maybe you want to try to change position. I don't know because it's not working. It's frozen. Okay. So maybe you want to share with us a little bit about, your story, how you use AI, what do you do with it, what the benefits that you see, and then we'll take it from there.
Thanks, Eytan. So I think maybe just a little bit of background as to why I feel comfortable to talk around AI and journey mapping. So I am a customer journey mapping manager at an insurance company in South Africa. And I manage a massive team of myself. So I am responsible for the journey mapping and for the governance that comes after the mapping has been completed. And I service more than 5 brands that our company is looking after. So it's quite a mammoth task. And for this reason, I feel quite comfortable to talk around AI, as it has been a tool that has tremendously helped us to expedite customer journey mapping in the business. So not only do I use it to generate customer journey maps, to refine my customer journey maps that I've mapped out, but also to help me to ideate opportunities and solutions that we as an organization may not necessarily have thought of before. So it's become a very powerful tool in a very short period of time.
Wonderful. I think that one of the things that we value in AI in Cemantica is that it's the efficiency at work. This is one thing that we think is a value. The second thing we strive for while we are implementing the AI technologies in journey management is to get also smarter decision making. Because we see that for example, when you build personas, when you build customer journeys, or when you want to ideate solutions, it's always very useful when you have like a co-pilot and assistant next to you, which is a digital assistant that is providing you some insights and ideas, thoughts, things you didn't think of that can enrich your thought process. And I think that by that you can take like better decisions.
100%, 100%. And it's really like this very clever intern that's just graduated from university that you just give a proper brief to, as you would do any employee or anybody that's doing work for you, and you give it 10 minutes. You walk away, you come back, and it's presenting back a solid piece of work. And it doesn't, so it's still important to go through that work, amend it, enrich it, but then also conversely, what I am seeing is it's also teaching me new ideas. And it's also helping me to adhere to very good customer journey mapping practice, because I keep on getting these great and robust examples of what that would look like. So it continuously also shapes my practice and the way that I journey map.
That's wonderful. When we use Alex in Cemantica, Alex is using 3 sources of data. So because there's always the question, where is it coming from? Is basis knowledge on what? And Alex is using 3 types of data elements. The first one is the data in the environment. So everything that you're putting there, the journeys, the personas, the opportunity solution, all the information that was collected and accumulated while you were using the platform is helping Alex to learn from this data. The second thing is the open public data out there. So everything that's already known on the market that you can use to enrich, because there's a lot of things that are public and that you can reuse. And the third one is the templates, the knowledge that was up until now accumulated in Cemantica as a platform from all the best practice templates that then together they're bringing like to this result that helps you build the personas, the journeys, and get the right opportunities and solutions that are fit for your industry by a continuous like learning curve as well from the data and the information that you put there. So this is how it works. Yeah, go ahead.
It's so interesting that you say that, Eytan, because what I have noticed over time is that the maps almost seem to become more. It's again like that brilliant intern. The more I use it, the less rework oftentimes I see that I need to do. So that is very interesting. And what you've also said takes me back to something that I previously spoke about, and it's especially around the open AI component. We as an organization, no matter which SMEs are involved, we are still just one think tank. That open AI allows us to cast our net wider and really tap into a wider think tank, if I can call it as such. And there we might arrive at opportunities and solutions that none of us in our limited scope could necessarily get to. So that's very powerful.
Can you give us concrete examples of things you've created in Cemantica and how you really applied it?
Yes, so just loosely, I definitely use it oftentimes to almost make my load a bit lighter. So I like to go into journey mapping sessions almost with a pre-populated map. So I would ask Cemantica to generate, let's say, a customer journey map on sales as an example, or service. And I would be quite specific. So I would say include that customers can also service or do self-service via the website and in-app as an example. And then reviewing that, things that we've picked up that was quite nice as an example is it's a search bar on top. So instead of a Q&A section in app and on the website, it's rather a search bar in which the customer can search for key terms as an example. So that's not necessarily something that my stakeholders and I identified in the past, but this would be a great example of something that it would add value to.
That's perfect. I think maybe we can have a look at some of the stuff that we can do in the platform, and then we can continue and have a discussion on the specific things. I wanted to share and show a couple of some stuff that you can do, and how do you use Alex concretely, in Cemantica. So what you see here on screen is the Cemantica Journey Management Platform. And on the left side, all different components that you will be using, and you know this, Marrianne. The starting point in many of the organizations when they start building their journey operation would first of all to start building the persona profiles, the segments that they will be addressing. And this is the first place where we can already meet Alex as an assistant. And we're doing everything live here. So for example, if I want to have a persona, so it's John Doe, let's say he lives in South Africa, 39 years old, looking to purchase a car insurance. Like, that's a very simple prompt. Of course, the prompt can be much more complex than that, and they can be very specific and tailored to a very specific offer that you have in your organization. In addition to that, Alex always looks at the industry of the organization. So this is taking into consideration the context of the industry. So this is insurance industry. Alex knows we are in insurance business, B2B or B2C, and now I need to produce a map in that context. So taking a very simple prompt as an example, I can ask Alex now to generate a map. And what Alex does, and it takes about 15 to 20 seconds, no more than that, Alex is generating a basic profile of a persona segment that is now this person that I was asking for, looking to buy a car insurance. So the basic profile, yeah, go ahead.
And Eytan, if you have market research information, so if you have very specific information around demographics and psychographics of that persona that you want to create, what we do is we literally just do a little bit of a write-up for Alex, which is just a paragraph with all those demographics and psychographics. and then what it does is this, but what is so what it does that we can't necessarily do is it really brings this persona to life. It gives it a lifestyle, a background, and that is so rich and robust.
I also feel that, you know, the fact that you get it in 20 seconds, it's also
Yes.
something like this can take hours to build, right? If you need to build yourself a profile of a persona segment and write the background needs, expectation, frustration, and something this person would say, that would take, it can take hours. So I think there's a big benefit already of getting this basic blueprint with the background of John Doe, you know, the needs, the expectation, for example, you know, access to insurance platforms or the integration of technology or a mobile first experience. You can also have the frustration, you know, maybe the overwhelming information or complexity, or things like a slow, unclear claims process could be a frustration for our John Doe persona. So you can have different types of information. I think one of the advantages of Alex is that the work that you do here isn't finished just by generating the basic profile. The ability to enrich the profile by adding additional sections, like for example, if I want to add another section and say that these are my, let's say this is the tech savviness, okay? Tech savviness of this type of person, then I'm getting from Alex what typically this type of persona would have as tech savviness in digital tool and equipment, maybe workflow automation or mobile in that specific case. So I can decide that I want to use it or not to use it, or I can regenerate it if I'm not happy, and I can ask Alex again to generate it. So I feel that Alex isn't just serving for the purpose of generating the content, but Alex can work on existing persona profile and enrich them as you go with additional types of information that maybe you don't have research on. Maybe you didn't research the income levels of these type of personas by adding this type. And it works on all types of the sections that I was using here, a rating, but I could also use a slider, and I could be interested in the communication channels, you know, preferences. Maybe this is something I want to know. And then I'm getting from Alex, like, okay, this John Doe prefers virtual meetings versus face-to-face, or this guy between phone calls and video calls doesn't really matter, email versus instant messaging. And this is giving me more information that I couldn't get elsewhere. If I need to research that, I can spend a lot of time, right? So this is first of all the persona, but the persona doesn't stay by itself. The persona has a customer journey. We want to go there, right? So that's the next step. The next step would be to create a customer journey. And the same way with a prompt, I can generate a customer journey. In a very natural language, I can just say create a customer journey for John Doe. John Doe for car insurance journey. And then I can decide what do I want to have in this journey. So by default, I will have the journey storyline. Then I want the touch points. I want the pain points. I want opportunities. And maybe I want some solutions. Okay. And then what I'm asking, I will choose my John Doe because I am targeting a specific persona. And I won't select a template. Alex can also refer to an organizational template. So you can decide for Alex to generate the journey in a specific structure. Okay, now I gave him the free structure of Cemantica. Now what Alex is doing, Alex is taking my prompt and is writing what Alex understood. This is customer journey outlines the step of John Doe takes to research, select, and purchase car insurance. And with all the experiences, policy, claim, and everything. Now Alex is starting to generate the map. Generating a customer journey with Alex takes about 5 minutes approximately, up to 10 maximum. It's a couple of minutes. While Alex is generating the map, there's no need to stay on screen. Like, you can continue and work. And once the journey is ready, Alex will notify us. You can see Alex is starting to populate the journey as we speak, you see. So I already have my description. Alex put the touch points that John Doe will be using to communicate with the brand in the research phase in the awareness. So now I'm discovering the offer. I can discover it through search engines, social media reviews, website, word of mouth, like lots of things here. And then as I go down, Alex will now produce the pain points, the opportunities, the solutions, and we start populating the journey until it is completely finished as a customer journey. Now, since we won't stay here and I'll wait 5 to 10 minutes until Alex finishes, I want to show you how the journey looks like when it's finished. This is a journey generated completely by Alex just before the call to show you, and this is Bill Drake's car insurance journey, and this is the result that we got here, where you can see the storyline of this journey with exploration, evaluation, decision, the decision making, and inside the awareness research, the comparison of the offer, the selection of the car insurance, and the final comparison and selection. And then as you go, you also have the purchase of the car insurance, and then you have the policy activation and satisfaction. It's a classic journey of car insurance, right? And if I
100.
go down, look, all the touch points that I already have with what the activity, what is Bill Drake in that case is doing on each one of the touch points. So it's really giving concrete information.
Mm.
And if I scroll down, I'm having all my pain points. So different pain points that could be an issue. If I take one of the pain points, I can ask Alex to generate opportunities for me. So for example, payment issues, these are things, areas where you can improve the experience that Alex is proposing me, like flexible payment option or transparent pricing breakdown, or maybe proactive payment reminders could be interesting. But I can also ask Alex to generate solutions. So if the opportunity is which are the areas where I can improve the experience, the solution would be the concrete things I can put in place in order to improve the experience. So the opportunity is the what, and the solution is the how. How are we going to do it? The solutions are pretty deep. So, for example, Alex is proposing as a solution flexible payment options. Let's say that this is a solution I'm interested in adding into my journey. I can use it. I can click on use selected, and the solution goes into my journey. Alex tells me this type of solution is complex. Complex project means that this is big value for the organization, but it's also a big effort to implement the solution. So I'm already getting an indication when I'm clicking on it, I'm already getting an indication as to what's the complexity of implementation, and that can guide me if I want to go for it, or maybe I prefer to leave it aside, okay? This type of solution. Inside the solution, I can also see the breakdown of the different criteria that have been used by Alex to assess the solution. So there's a whole description of what is the solution. And when we go down, if I click on the rating, I can see how Alex scored the solution. So this is the benefits to the customer and to the business. And these criteria are measuring the cost and effort of implementation that Alex has decided that this solution is related to. Okay, so you're getting quite extensive information. Then if you scroll down, I think once the map is ready, you don't have to satisfy with that. You can continue and enrich it with Alex. Same thing as in Persona. You can continue and do it here. So if I click on a new lane and I add a text lane, let's say I'm interested in the expectations of this type of persona. Okay, what do they expect from us? And I want to have it across the journey, picking a color, adding it into my journey. Now what I can do, I can ask Alex to populate it. So tell me what are the expectation in the awareness stage. And the Alex tell me, okay, Bill begins searching online after he encounters ads on social media. And let's say I want it, I'm adding it into my journey. This is how I start building my customer journey, because I can ask Alex to generate for me on every box, on every lane I am adding, a new type of information that I don't have in the system. Expectations can be needs, can be frustrations, can be other things, that are related to the customer journey that I can use to populate. In addition to that, I can also select specific text in the in the journey itself, and I can rewrite it with Alex to make it shorter, to make it longer, maybe to change the tone of voice to something more friendly. And Alex will rewrite the wording in a friendly tone. So you see, there are lots of options or ways to use Alex to go faster and also to work in a multilingual environment, because Alex can translate also documents and different types of information in Cemantica from one language to another to help collaborate between teams that need to read same journeys and to collaborate on the same journeys, even if they are in different geographies.
I do find that the journey maps are more digestible to a wider audience of people the more concise they are written. And this is another way that Alex has really helped me, is to make sure that we're as concise as possible without losing the meaning of the maps.
It's a very good point, and this is what I did here. I asked him to shorten the text because it was too long. As he said, it should concise, then you get it shorter. A shorter version is very nice. There are lots of other things Alex does in the system, like mark customer routes, prioritize solutions and opportunities. There's very interesting stuff that you can do around. This is the basic thing. Just going back into our journey, you remember John Doe customer journey. This is how it looks like when it's finished. You're getting a message here that the journey was created with AI, and you can decide if you want to keep it or if you want to delete it. So if I'm keeping it, then here I have my full journey of the customer, journey of John Doe. And this type of journey, which there's lots of research around how much time does it take to build a customer journey manually, like this has been done in 5 minutes. And I'm not saying that this is 100%. Of course, you need to adjust it, you need to tune it, you need to add information, but you're getting a base that did like a big percentage of your work, and now you can continue and then build based on that. That saves a lot of time and
100%.
energy.
It does.
Okay, let me stop sharing the screen. Here it is. So, Marrianne, now you can talk from your experience, the real concrete things that you envisage doing with Alex. So there is the things you do today with AI. What are you planning to do next with AI? Where do you see this continuing to help you? Next steps.
So I definitely think that we keep on looking to business of the future and trying to not just do the journey map based on what is happening in business. So to ideate that future state of the customer's journey, for me, I think is particularly important. Yeah, and taking that back to business and getting them to think about what is that business of the future going to look like.
How much time do you think you saved by using AI in your daily work? You know, there's the before and the after, right? You were doing before, and then there's after, Alex.
Yes, I must say, I think before Alex, I was running a race with one leg. And definitely now it almost feels like I have a team that is working with me. And I do exactly the way that you've showed the journey mapping. So what happens for me is it creates the foundation from which I can review and I can add my contextual knowledge. I can remove maybe some of the touch points that are not relevant to me or to our organization. I can maybe highlight those that we are not using and suggest that as a future way of interacting with our customers. So it's become a very potent tool in my daily life. Absolutely.
I think that one of the, many people were afraid when AI was presented or came to our life like this in such a big way. wave that people will lose their jobs, that AI will do everything and we will do nothing. And I think that what we're actually seeing is that AI is an assistant. Like, it's not
Yes.
doing the job instead of you, it's doing the job alongside you. It helps you make your job better, but it doesn't replace the humans,
No.
especially in the customer experience space where you do need to have the sense of relationship, of feeling, of emotions. It's all about relationships and building loyalty. And this is
And
something a machine, right, cannot get to the bottom of it. Like, it can help you with all the instrumentals around, but it
yes.
will never get to the heart of it.
No. And it's a complex business. It's a complex just insurance is a complex product, but then there's a whole context within the business that AI doesn't necessarily know. It's the things that you learn through being there. And then there are things as a CX, or a journey mapper, that I know that I can use my judgment to say, yes, this looks right, and makes sense, but no, actually this is not for the right context, and I can change it. So I don't think it will necessarily replace me. It will definitely make my area stronger, because the outputs are so much faster and can be more robust, because now I have the time to really focus on incorporating customer insight into those results, and really, really looking critically at that body of work, and feeling more energized and focused when I'm going through that journey work, to give it that real human and business flavor. Yeah.
I want to conclude this before we go to the questions, so don't worry, everyone. I see people in the chat looking for answers. So just a second, we'll get there. Don't worry,
See
we'll
now.
answer all your questions. Um, in terms of the roadmap of Alex, so we've seen a couple of things that we can do already in the system. If we look further into what's coming next, then we're going to have the whole digestion of documents that's going to be introduced this year with Alex, meaning that we're going to feed documents in, not only prompts, but also documentation, PowerPoints, PDF, Word documents, doesn't matter, all types of documents. I think that's going to be an amazing capability,
Yes.
and will help a lot. All the research information that you have, you can just push to Alex, and Alex will use that when they generate content in Cemantica. I think this is one big thing that is
Yes.
coming. That would be really good. The second thing that is coming with Alex is also the ability to scan documents and to produce from the documents
Oh, wow.
content in Cemantica. So it's not about digesting documents to prompts in order to generate, but taking the documents themselves and pushing them into Cemantica as a Cemantica object. Like, if you have a
Uh-huh.
journey in a PowerPoint or in Excel, you will be able to scan it with Alex, and
That's
Alex will generate
fantastic.
a map from the document, or generate a persona from a PPT. It will generate a persona for you. This is a second big thing that is coming. And the third big thing that we are adding with Alex is all the analysis of the VOC data. So today we are integrating voice of the customer data from platforms like Qualtrics, Medallia, and also other smaller VOC providers like the Survey Monkeys, and also CRM platforms and ERP and operational systems. So we are pushing all this information. So Alex is going to be, and now we'll add a new layer that will analyze this VOC data and will plug it automatically into the relevant journey maps. Today, you need to say, where do you want to fit the feedback? Alex, through AI mechanism and learning, machine learning, will digest all the feedback information and will push it into the relevant places in the journey operations, removing this manual work of
Yes.
associating feedback into a journey, a persona, and a touch point. So these are the three big things come in.
But that is going to make the journey, especially the gains and the pains, so much more specific and robust to each organization, because now it's your customer data directly, your customers verbatim, as an example. So that's and yeah, I think that is mind-blowing, really.
Do you have an example of a specific customer journey that you created with Alex?
Yes, I do. Yes. Can I go and quickly search it for us?
Yeah, sure.
Just quickly look here.
So while Marrianne is looking for it, I will answer a question here. There's a question, what is the release schedule for the new features I've mentioned? Everything by the end of the year. So that's very short term. There's another question here from Jerry. Can Alex suggest solution to be prioritized by the organization own strategic brand and commercial priority? It's in our roadmap. Today, it's only our model of 8 criteria. It's our roadmap for next year to give the flexibility to customize the model, but not currently. How is Alex generating the pain points for the journey? So based on the 3 sources of information that I have mentioned, the information that's already in Cemantica from the other customer journeys and existing pain points to check if there are any recurring pain points, the open available data out there that is feeding Alex and common pain points of organization from this industry in this type of customer journey. And the third one are best practices of Cemantica, usual pain points that we encounter in other organizations doing the same type of work. Tell me, Marrianne, when you're ready, and I'll switch to you.
All right.
You ready?
Yes. All right. Okay, I must just, I'm used to working in teams, Eytan, so
Okay.
I
This
just
is
now need to figure out, there we
how
go.
do you share?
There.
Okay.
Yes. All right, so I see one of the questions that was asked is, how much time does this journey mapping save me? Well, I can tell you it really takes about 4 or 5 hours to create a journey map from scratch with the different lines that I've got, depending on the complexity of the journey. And I basically begin with AI, first asking AI to map out the journey, and that takes 10 minutes. So, and I really per standard now use AI as a starting point. Then it does take me about an hour or 2 to review the map. So take 5 hours. Now it's taking 2 hours as an example, if I can maybe quantify it in that way, because it's the brilliant assistant. So you have to go and review it. You have to make it your company's own, and you have to apply your thinking and your experience, and also then the input of your SMEs. You've got to also still include as part of the journey mapping process. So this is a escalated complaints journey that we have in place. So in the insurance industry, let's say our customer isn't satisfied with service or the claim outcome, we take it very seriously, and we want to ensure that our customer does leave us feeling satisfied. So we escalate that complaint. So this is just an example of exactly what we've done. So I've just asked Alex to create a customer journey map on an escalated compliance process, giving it not much more than that. It gives me the various stages, which I had to go and rework. Sometimes it feels like, especially the first two stages could be very similar. So I might just pick one instead of looking for that for both of them. That might be a little bit different. It gives me the stage description, which really is what the customer is doing at that moment in the journey. Timing, Eytan, is something that I then added with our SMEs. So you still have to gain their insight as well. Then it will give you various communication channels, but we then would use what is applicable to us. But then in this instance, as an example, again, I think there was one communication channel along the journey that Alex actually provided that we weren't doing, that we actually thought this is actually maybe a very good communication channel to incorporate at that moment in the journey. So we're going to do that. It's given us our gains. As you can see, this escalated compliance process of ours is designed to regain customer trust. So you can see there are a lot of gains that we've worked into it, findings, and then we have our opportunities as well. And I will be very honest with you, about half of those opportunities that we identified was through the help of Alex.
That's great. That's very impressive. Always impressive to see it in action, you know, in real use case of an industry. That's great. Just before we finish, I see that there are a couple of other questions I'll try to answer. So there's a question here: is the Alex is pulling data from calls, NPA survey, etc. Alex will be pulling data when Alex will be building the journey from any data that's in Cemantica. So if you've connected your VOC data into Cemantica, it will take it into consideration, meaning also the verbatim that you have integrated into the system. So it doesn't go to look for, but if the information is in the system, then yes, it will be processed. How does Alex know what channels are valid for a given client? Then this is machine learning. Alex, the three sources that I have mentioned are the ones that are feeding Alex knowledge. And based on that, Alex knows which are the most popular channels in this type of journey, in this industry, and they will put it for you. This is good for you also to benchmark, because in that case, you can see which are the channels that most of your probably competitors are using, and you can go with that in order to compare it. I don't know if there are any other questions that asked. I don't think so. So first of all, I want to thank you, Marrianne. It was very impressive to see it. Really, every time I see it, I'm shocked.
I know, it's
I'm
fantastic.
so surprised by what you are able to achieve with the system, and it pleases me a lot, of course, to see that you make such good use of it. So thank you very much for your participating and sharing feedback with us and the audience. And thank you very much, everyone, for your participation and for your questions. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or to Marrianne, and we will be happy to answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you as well.
Perfect.